Play smart, and the board game. All 5 on the floor now for Jeff Mittie. They have to rebound. It starts with the block out. You got to find a body and keep this UCA team off the offensive glass.
K-State had a tremendous game against the Sugar Bears last year. Starting 5 for these two teams. Central Arkansas with Andrea Wright with the basketball. Should be the focus for the Sugar Bears on their offensive end as well. Inside, working against Lauterbach. First shot up for Kaija Miles. Won't go. Gregory the rebound. And here come the Cats with their starting 5. Gabby Gregory, the newest face for K-State to be in the starting 5. No stranger to the Big 12 for years at Oklahoma. Now transferring to K-State.
She had over 20 points in both of the exhibition games. Again, that kind of assertive mentality.
Going in exhibition play. Inbound play. Briley Glenn hits the first basket.
Just in this first couple minutes, simply by jumping screens and being active. Not allowing Kansas State to turn the corner. That's what they want to do.
Drive to the basket and finish. Sophomore out of Fort Worth, Texas. One of the only 2 returning starters from a year ago.
She made 14 starts last season for Central Arkansas, but right there able to pull Lauterbach off, turns the corner, and they get to the rim for that bucket.
Glenn, who has the only hoop for K-State. To her sister Jalen. Into the lane. Gets the trio of defenders. Hangs and scores.
Here's penetration. Where's going to be the penetration lanes? Find open shooters.
Gregory for the offensive board.
Whoever is in the lineup is going to have to crash the offensive glass. Without someone just to clean everything up like they've had with Ioka Lee the last few seasons, things changed. Everyone's got to contribute. Tough
shot. Get a thought here from Lena Satterin, Jeff Mittie sharing what he thought of the exhibition schedule, how it prepared them for this new offense. Emily Ebert in for the first time along with Shamatsi.
Up offensively with that aggressive mentality to get to the rim and see what you can do. It's to create for other people on the floor and to score yourself.
Three-pointer from Fisher.
They're starting off strong with wins in both exhibition games, and every Wildcat that saw the floor in Friday night's game scored at least 2 points.
Lena, 600 wins if he did get it, would be one of 16 active coaches. Division I with 600 wins.
Those years have been built on a defensive philosophy, a true defensive identity for your program. I think one of the things I heard Jeff Mittie say at Big 12 Media Days was that he wasn't sure about this team defensively. They're learning.
And then the pickpocket, Briley Glenn, all the way to the other end. You want defense? That'll work. 179 career wins for Coach Rushing in 34 years. Another steal out high. Jalen Glenn this time with her sister Briley running shotgun.
Once somebody gets beat on penetration at the top of the key, now everybody's in help side. But you've got to get yourself in a position where you help and don't foul.
State was running an alley-oop from Mop during practice a season ago.
Yeah, you can feel like practice is that place, but until you really get into a true game situation, and when you're just on the scout team time and time again, day after day, that can get it becomes monotonous. But you've got to get back in not only game shape, but just understanding the flow. Now that becomes an opportunity at a three-point play.
Missed the free throw, mopping up high to get the board, and the stick back.
For an easy layup underneath. Either way, this offense will be way more efficient, way more effective if they could put it on the floor and get to the middle.
So far, we've seen that here tonight from Kansas State. Michael Dollinger checking in at the quarter break. Lauterbach also has returned. There's Dollinger in the near corner. And a three-pointer. Lauterbach posted up. May have had a look. Dollinger decides to take the three. Offensive rebound, unable to be covered by Gregory. Here come the Sugar Bears. Front line jumper. Up and in. Sugar Bears trying to cut into what was a significant deficit at the end of one. 15 points. Up the first 5 of this stanza. Here's Harris. Creates for Gregory. Buries the three. Checking in, the freshman for the Wildcats. The aforementioned Miles switches to the left.
And having some depth and a little bit more, especially in the backcourt, is a nice thing. Didn't have that as much last season. That's why you saw a player like Serena Sundell averaging so many minutes as a freshman.
Bad pass by Maupin. Read well by UCA to lay it up.
They need to get themselves set. You got to set some screens, get some cutting action, get back to what has been successful for you here in this first half.
Greer starts to go face up, backs out of it. Sugar Bears really ramping up the defensive pressure in a game that's allowed to be called a little loose. Sundell looked for a three, hits the three.
Not to stand still. If you can move without the basketball, relocate and get open, you'll get shots. Feet set, hits the three.
Sundell, a near triple-double performance in the final exhibition game. Started slow, finished.
Continue to claw, continue to grind, and they've done it with their defense.
Good look for Glenn, but she couldn't hit it. Lauterbach, good find of Gregory, who is
here when she's in the lineup.
Just nice to see Gregory out playing again after a season of just battling. That's the Gabby Gregory we remember from years past.
Absolutely, and especially knowing how much success she had earlier in her career in Norman, and then thinking that she was the 2019 Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Oklahoma. This is a kid who has had a ton of success, and when they can get healthy, good things happen. This would be a big possession for the Cats.
Everett, wide open three, didn't get it. Offensive tip back, goes to K-State. Lauterbach at the buzzer! K-State. Although outside shots haven't gone in as much as they did the other night, K-State has been offensive rebounding at a high level. Gregory, another offensive rebound, and this time goes. Her 41st career double-figure game. Stopped by the Cats on the defensive end. Quickly in transition, Gregory pulls it up, hits the into the game, working with Shilatsi, who's shown that range. Couldn't get the friendly roll. It falls to Sundell.
To continue to get better. We know there's going to be nights where they're going to need their three-point shooting. Tonight it's been about penetration and finishing at the rim, but defense is where this team's going to have to hang their hat, and they're going to need everybody to be solid.
Harris rattles in a three.
One of those that's in the areas of point of emphasis that we've seen over the last couple of seasons is that if you're going to create that contact, if you're going to be up on a dribbler, you cannot use your hands and you cannot reach.
Corner, and that's going to be a 4 points. And the first basket of the second half by Central Arkansas over halfway through this third. Gregory from Maupin. Over by the Wildcats, they had really done a good job of keeping that number down until that mistake right there. This third quarter has been a nightmare for the Sugar Bears against K-State's defense. 1 of 9 shooting. They have turned it over 3 times and have committed 5 fouls themselves. The sophomores now, they were freshmen last year. Sundell and the Glenn twins. Of all of them, Jalen Glenn probably had the most resume sort of look at these numbers, look at these stats, that sort of thing. Briley was kind of the one that was.
Take good shots within the framework of your offense. Get to the rim, and when you do, you've got to be able to finish.
Another offensive rebound for K-State as Lauterbach grabs the board. Those were Gregory's first free throws of the game, which seems improbable. Everett for 3 threes and 16 points, hammers her first shot.
Just the 6-3 for Kansas State. They've got 62 points here so far, but that they have not just settled for threes. That came from the offensive board and the kick out.
There was a little bit of, I don't know what this team's going to look like without Lee. Starting to feel a little bit better, I think, so to speak.
And we haven't even gotten into the last 10 minutes of this ball game. So you know that you're going to see some different lineups, some different faces in there, but this has been a really good third 10-minute segment.
Final few seconds of the third quarter. Sundell drives, hangs, and scores for the second straight. And then National Player of the Year, Caitlin Clark, National Player of the Year candidate, Caitlin Clark, and Iowa coming into town. The number 4 team in the country.
The Hawkeyes picked to win the Big Ten this year.
Together for Jim Littell, another Kansas native that was a longtime coach at Seward County. Change made there, and J.C. Hoyt came from Kansas City, where she did some great things at the helm of the Rude program.
Jump, I mean, it's a big challenge when you come from the Summit League and then you head to the Big 12 and to a P5. You got to have that experience both from the recruiting side, but then making sure that your X's and O's are going to fit the system. I think you're going to see, as we said, a lot of high.
Norman, Oklahoma area. She'll miss the shot. Marks, who was injured for a better part of her senior season, was able to get healthy in time to be cleared at the start of practice, but didn't get a full month of preseason practice. Albinger has returned for K-State as well. That's right, Virgin Islands. It'll be Clemson on the Golden, Arizona. Ooh, big hard hit in front of us by Sierra Carter, trying to track that one down in a mix-up with Maupin. Parks left open for a moment. Hits the three-point.
Here at Kansas State, this team looks different than what everybody had assumed it would be. No Ioka Lee, but you're finding a lot of new faces that are going to be able to contribute all season long.
Of the 600 wins, 146 of them have come while he's at Kansas State. He is the second all-time winningest coach behind Deb Patterson. Parks thought about another three-pointer. Jalen Glenn, left side of the lane, is able to rattle in a Big Ten two-step with Wisconsin and Iowa. Wisconsin on a neutral site, sort of, in the Wisconsin State. And then Iowa here in the Little Apple. And Jeff Mittie calling for his team to sit on the ball and dribble this one out. Central Arkansas will fall to 0-1 and turn their attention to their in-state rivals, the Razorbacks.
The challenge now for Kansas State is to take the things that they learned from tonight, whether that was to clean up the mistakes, think about their shot selection, think about how this team defended, their team defense, but also their one-on-one. And then you're going to take this young group, some of them on the road.